Hi, welcome back to Heart and Soul Homes. My name is Monica. Today I want to discuss with you some great tips for decorating. Now right now we're in the holiday season of Christmas, right? But these tips could go for any kind of holiday, really kind of any kind of decorating in a sense, but mostly for holidays. But you know, I like big impact. If you're doing decorating on a small, just a, little bits here and there, then it's, you can usually do that on a easy budget, okay? But when you're wanting to have big impact and you're wanting, to really make statements, it can be expensive. So I want to show you some of my tricks to help you. The first trick I have is pillow covers. Now you can find these on Amazon, you can find them at the stores, you can find them, Wayfair, any of those kind of places. But they are amazing. My favorite place personally is Amazon because you have such a huge selection. So it's so simple to buy a pillowcase. I used to go and I used to sit there and buy holiday pillows, Easter pillows, fall pillows, Christmas pillows, and then what do you do to store them? It's a hassle to try and store it, and maybe you want to change it up year to year, you know what I mean? But then you feel like you're stuck. Pillowcases, it's the answer. It's so easy. This is a pillow that I have. It's just a regular pillow that I had years and years and years ago, and with a simple little pillowcase, I've got a cute pillow that goes with the decor of the room. So then here you go. And so then the great thing about it is all I have to do is store this, and I just have a little place in my hall closet here, and I just store pillowcases. And when I want to change out color schemes, or I've got a holiday coming up, all I have to do is go to those, or I pack them with my Christmas decor, and use that as a buffer, for breakables. But I mean, it's the simplest thing. So really, that's one of my #1 tips, because if you don't have much of a budget, you can get a pack of 4 for $10. That's 4 pillows. You put some pillows on your couch, you put a throw, and your Christmas tree, and you've got a beautiful room, So pillowcases are a big tip for me. My second tip is, check out like the Dollar Tree or Dollar General, that kind of thing. Think about some of the things that they have there that you could maybe create in a different way, to make a bigger impact. Like, maybe taking one of the signs, like the yard stake signs, framing it, you know what I mean, to make it just to maybe make it a little bit more of a high impact statement piece. Take wrapping paper, and frame wrapping paper, to make a big statement. A lot of people are getting very crafty, with the Cricut, or, different ideas like that. Take something, go into these places with an open mind. I guess that's and creative. Get creative, get crafty. Go to Goodwill. You see something, I put this in my tablescape video, and I found all different sorts of candlestick, which, if I bought it, looking at them at the store, they didn't go, whatever, it wouldn't have worked. But I took them home, I had it in my mind, I wanted to do some kind of flowy candle look on the centerpiece. And I wanted it to be all different types of candle sticks. So what I did is I brought it home, I painted them gold, they all matched in color, not style, but they all matched in color. So it was, appealing to the eye, but it was very inexpensive. They were like 99 cents, or, and I already had the spray paint, I already had the candles, or you go and buy some candles. It's, that's not expensive. So doing something like that, maybe on a mantle, or on some shelves, or your coffee table, or something like that. So be creative, go to these places that maybe you think, oh, Dollar Tree, but be creative and think. There's some great decor, there's some great decor. But the important thing is that you go with an open mind, and that you kind of vision, like have a vision. What's my theme? How could I use this piece in my theme? How could I overmake this piece? How could I add this to something to make it, more high impact? That's my second tip, is being creative, being crafty, having a vision. And then when you go shopping at these different places, how could I use this item, that could make what I already have higher impact and bigger and better and wow, okay? So that's my second tip. Now this area in my home this year, and I'll show you more of it, was an area that this is what created the idea of this video, because I was not used to decorating up high. I didn't have, stuff that would be impactful up there, or for up there. So I had to kind of come up with an idea, and I I had my theme. I knew what I wanted to do, but I needed pieces that were going to make impact statements and then tie everything together. So one thing I wanted to show you here is, this was a very inexpensive garland I got at Hobby Lobby, which, Hobby Lobby, everything is 50% off for that season, the decor for that season. So this was very inexpensive. But I thought, what a cute way, instead of putting it on the tree, which is kind of what the thought was, is a garland for a tree. I thought, I always have these little command hooks up here for different holidays, which you probably can't even see it in the camera. But I just decided, I thought this would be a beautiful way to, showcase this. It went with my theme of, Santa's workshop, Candyland, the North Pole, that kind of thing. So I used this to this was a purchase, which it wasn't a terribly expensive sign, but I thought it just brought that sign to the next level. It almost framed it, and that was what my thought was. So this was a very inexpensive thing to give this, which was a little bit more expensive, not terribly expensive, but it was a little, it's a little bit more, to give it that impact. And then, then it just went with all the things I already had, and it just, it just framed, it just made this whole area work. So that is something, if you can find, Target Dollar Spot will have garlands like every season. If you can find things, and then let's go into being crafty, okay? So maybe I know they had it at Target Dollar Spot. They had just these like little a garland that just had like little balls on it, okay? So maybe you want a little bit, you wanted to get the dollar price tag of the garland, but you want it to be a bigger impact. Okay, that can be worked on. What about just wiring on some little ornaments? If you didn't have this, if you weren't getting this one, maybe your theme is, outdoors, Wonderland type of thing. Maybe you want to get some little animals and ornaments, Christmas tree ornaments, and wire them onto a very cheap, inexpensive garland. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Be creative. And this is a good tip. You got Ballard Designs, you've got Williams-Sonoma catalogs that come, you've got Front Gate, things. And a garland, this garland's like $50 in there, or $100, but it's these big impact, beautiful statement pieces. Okay, what I do is I look at that and say, okay, which I'm going to show you over here. I've got garland, I've got lots of different ornaments, I've got lights. I'm going to create my own big. I might even have 2 cheap garlands that I make roll together, tie them together so it's a bulkier piece. I add some lights, I add, ornaments, wire them in there. maybe some picks, and I have this beautiful garland that looks like, you know, I got it from Frontgate, which you know, and I probably spent 20 bucks instead of, you know, 300. You know, so those are the kind of things I'm suggesting to you that you really think through. What is it you see that you really love, but you don't want to spend or can't spend that kind of money? Now, as you can see up here, this is the part of the decor that I did not have anything for. So this right here was all new this year. And when I went to Hobby Lobby and I saw the gingerbread men and girl, there's 1 and 2, and the tall peppermint stands, those are stands. I was like, I love it. That's for over the TV stand, the entertainment center. I love it. I'm buying it. I bought these in like August and love it. I've got to have it, everything. Well, when I got everything up there, and it was just the, oh, and then the gingerbread house. That was, you know, those were the things. And so I was like, okay, I got it up there, but it's cute and everything, but it needed more pieces. It needed big impact. And so I had to come up with some ways to build that impact, and I want to show you what I did. Okay, so one thing I did was, these are picks that were for the Christmas tree, just picks. I loved them. I knew it went with my theme. I knew I'd use them somehow. I didn't know when I bought them what I'd use them for, but I knew I would. But what I did is, in here, I stuck the picks down into floral foam. So there I just started building bigger statement pieces, adding to it. Those picks back there are all in the same type of thing. And I just started building higher stuff to go with, you know, my gingerbread men and girl. And that's what those picks are. All those picks are little like designs or arrangements I made in floral foam. They just stick in there, and you know, it just gave height without buying, you know, more of the gingerbread or, you know, more of this. I just created height through that. And I'll show you more down on the fireplace where I can get to it better. The other thing I did is, this is just very inexpensive garland that I got at Hobby Lobby. Very inexpensive, has no lights, and I was okay with that. But what I did is wired just to add to it. I loved the color and I loved the green with the red holly and everything. I just felt like it framed everything really nicely. But I just went with the theme and added little Christmas tree ornaments just to, you know, give a little bit more impact. Very cheap garland, okay? But the little candies, I could have done, you know, Christmas balls or something, but I felt like I had enough with all this, but just adding a little bit something extra. The other big impact statement is the snow. When I didn't have snow up here, I mean, it was pretty, but when I put the snow on there, it just wowed. And then I continued the snow down here, you know, so that you just really get that impact. It just is like a finishing. It's just kind of like a finishing powder. You know, you do your makeup and everything, and it's just that finishing powder that just gave it a wow factor. So that is one of my big tips. Those picks were like $6.99, $7.99, even if it was 10 bucks for the bigger ones, half off, so $5. Stuck them in some cheap floral foam, hide it with snow, and it just from behind, you know, from when you walk in the room, it's just like boom, and it just totally set this whole area off and the whimsy of the design I was going for. Here's another really great example, and this kind of shows exactly what I did all over the place. But you know, I had a nutcracker here, but then I moved to being the front entry was going to be the nutcracker ballet theme. So it was a tall nutcracker, and I had something tall here, okay? So I needed something tall. But you know, I'd already bought a lot of new stuff, and I just was like, and I wasn't seeing, and I really didn't want to spend the money on another one of the gingerbread plus have another of the same item. So then I went and I saw these are yard stakes, okay? Super cute. They're not the same, but they go with the theme, a little boy gingerbread, a little girl gingerbread, but they are yard stakes. You can see that's a metal. So what I did is I bought the 2 yard stakes. They were super inexpensive at Hobby Lobby. Bought those 2, okay? Bought a inexpensive little bucket that could be used again and again for something else. Stuck the, let's see if we can, stuck a bunch of like new garbage bags and stuff like that down in there with the floral foam and stuck the stakes into that, and then just hide it with the snowballs. I mean, super inexpensive. It probably was about maybe $12, $13 everything. And you know, something of needing some height and tallness and structure would have been a lot more expensive. And it's super, super cute. And it goes with the theme. I can change it out. Next year I may want to use them actually outside. Whatever, you know? I mean, it just was a great, inexpensive way to bring a wow factor to this spot. And, you know, to the whole you know, hearth and the fireplace. So that was a great find. Here's another example of, this is not garland that has lights in it, but I love this. It's very real looking, and I love the red little berries in here. But, you know, I felt like I needed a little bit more. So I just added this little, this is a, I don't know if this is a pick. Yeah, this is a pick. Okay, so a pick. This is a pick that would go on the Christmas tree. I just stuck it down in there. Here's some peppermint candy ornaments. More of the ornaments. I stuck up some snow. I don't know if you can see that. Little snowballs, little candy to go with the Candyland theme. Those are just little ornaments. And I just stuck that in there to make it a wow garland. Here again is one of these, those are picks, and down in there is the floral foam. So it just gives it that wow. So again, this one does not have lights. I do have some battery operated lights through here, but they really don't show up. So, but next year I'll probably run, you know, some lights in here. But it just, I mean, Santa is such a big piece that you just can't sit there and not have a wow factors, you know what I mean? So here again, and I did the same thing, you know, I did the same thing on this side. I took floral foam picks and just stuck it in there so that I was, you know, had the same look on both sides. And that just, you know, frames out this big wow statement of an area. This is another great, you know, idea. I had a lot of the candy, so this is where I kind of started the Candyland, but I needed some height. I wanted some, you know, wow pieces. So picks in the foam, and then covered it all with snow, and added some more little cheap, inexpensive ornaments in there. And it just, you know, it just gives it that wow factor and wow piece. The snow was just an absolute, it's just the frosting. Another idea here, I had these in from spring and summer, these beautiful pink faux flowers. I had a lot of pink in here with reds. I thought the flowers still went. It was beautiful. So I just added some of these candy picks into the arrangement. Turned it into a beautiful, beautiful statement piece for not a lot of money. This tree was done a couple years ago. My daughter and I decided we wanted to do a Dollar Tree kind of, see what we could do with you know, with all Dollar Tree ornaments, We bought the tree. You know, it's not a great tree, but Walmart tree for 20 bucks. It had no lights, so you just string the lights in. But all of the decorations, this was basically it was like the tree was 20 bucks, and then we spent $20, maybe $25 on ornaments. All of this, the ribbon, you know, the ornaments, everything is from Dollar Tree, including the skirt. And you know, it still has ended up being one of our favorite additions to our trees. You know, it's just adorable. And every year we pull it out and we say, we did this for only like 45, 50 bucks. So it really, you know, again, don't cross, you know, places. You can make a cute tree for not as much money and have a cute little theme and everything. This is our snowman tree. Here again is my village you know, the village. And at first, the first couple years, I just had the trees and the village. Adding the snow right here, game changer. It just rises it up to the next level. Same with, you know, these little scenes down here. But just adding that snow, adding some twinkle lights, game changer. Here's another example of just a very inexpensive garland that did not have lights. And I just added some things to it. And it's a beautiful, beautiful piece. This area looked nice, but it just was one of those things where I kept saying, it's just missing something. It's missing something. It's just not, you know, it's just missing something. Added that garland and it just did it right over the top, and it just ended up beautiful. Another big impact is my dining room table. A lot of these were from Hobby Lobby and the dollar spot of Target, so very inexpensive. But when you cluster a bunch of them together, you add the snow, you add, you know, maybe some pretty little ornaments, these little twinkle lights. This was, I just was sitting there like, what could I put in my candles, in my you know, my tall candle things. I usually put like, oh gosh, I've done, you know, corn, I've done split peas, but these are marshmallows, so it goes with like snow. This is kind of winter wonderland themed in here. So very inexpensive. The snow, the little ornaments, and just a very inexpensive garland that I've had for years, didn't have lights, and I mean just a huge impact. And it's one of my favorite centerpieces. But it was not a lot of money. Okay, so this is our big 12-foot tree. It's huge. This one was the first time I've decorated this tree. And I was a little bit worried because it is so big and I don't have a huge amount of ornaments for this tree. So something that I really did this year is I really went heavy on the ribbon. And as you can see, I'll step back. That's what you see. I mean, you do see some of the beautiful black and white and that kind of stuff in the ornaments, but it's the ribbon. So if you don't have a lot of, you know, ornaments and you really can't go out and buy a bunch and whatever, this mesh ribbon is inexpensive and it is such an impact wow statement on your tree. Just loading it full of a beautiful ribbon, you know, can be just absolutely gorgeous. Okay, here's another little idea. Now, this little runner was very inexpensive from Hobby Lobby. I just liked the pop of red to go on the counter. Yeah, I got these at Hobby Lobby, but maybe you just have your coffee cups that you use. You know, you don't have to have all the decor and everything. This I got you know, this, you know, you could get inexpensive hot cocoa, I guess is my point. These are from the Dollar Tree, just to put in, you know, hot cocoa filler, you know, a cute little sign, your marshmallows. You know, again, it doesn't, I think from afar, this hot cocoa bar looks great and it's a statement piece, but you could just recreate this in a very inexpensive way, you know, for yourself. And just, these things were not expensive, but and having a hot cocoa bar might not be a priority for you. I get it. But, you know, just some inexpensive little canisters that give a Christmas theme, and a sign and some hot cocoa, and it's still very, very cute. Okay, so this is just kind of my last little suggestion for you. Now, I had looked, this is a big door, and I had looked a couple years back for a really big wow wreath for my front door, and they were crazy expensive. So I had my dear friend, I had the idea. I didn't have confidence in myself to do it, but I had the idea. I think I could do it now. But this is what we did. We just took a inexpensive plain wreath. It had no lights, just plain green wreath. And then we just took, you know, the ribbon that we chose and wrapped it around. We got picks, you know, candy picks, ornaments, and tied them, wired them in, lights wired in, you know, just the bigger impact statement pieces just wired in. And now, I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful wreath that looks, you know, extremely expensive, but it was not an expensive wreath to make. Another quick little idea, this was new this year. This is just one of those kind of light crystal garlands. And I just felt like I needed a little something over my door, just a little, you know, something more framing, impact. So this was actually my mom's. I found it out in the garage, so we went ahead and put that up. And then what we did is just wired on the different ornaments. So that, you know, that wasn't there, but it just gave a very high impact during the day or night for, you know, a beautiful garland. You could do that for a green garland as well. You just take Christmas hooks, Christmas tree ornament hooks, hook it through, and then just, you know, tie it into whatever kind of garland you're using. So that's gonna do it. Those are my big tips. You can use these in so many different ways, but you know, if you just take those basic tips, I think you will have a great success in any kind of decorating you do. I hope that I gave you some good ideas, and I hope that it was of value to you, and I appreciate the time you took to watch this video, and I hope I gave you some good ideas. I would love to see if you used any of my ideas in your decorating at home. You could tag me down below with a picture. Follow me over at Instagram. I would love to see your work. I just love that. I love if I can give somebody some great advice. I love to be able to see what they do with it. So I hope you have a great day. I hope you will take the time to like this video. It helps me so much. And subscribe and continue watching, because we've got a lot of great content coming. Thanks, and have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.